There is a small thing that quiet people once did without talking about it. Not because it was secret, but because it did not need words. And many only remember it later in life, when striving has softened and listening has returned. You may already feel what this is about. Not excitement, not effort, just a gentle recognition of something that has been with you the whole time. You have lived long enough to notice something important. The harder you chased certain things, the further they seemed to move. And the moments that mattered most often arrived when you were not trying to make them happen. Elders noticed this. Healers noticed this. Those who watched life quietly instead of pushing against it noticed this. They understood that life responds more easily to acknowledgement than to force. That what is seen often responds without being commanded. This is why effortlessness works better than striving. Striving tightens the body, it narrows the breath, it asks life to obey. Effortlessness does something else. It leaves a door open. And when a door is left open gently, something often returns on its own. Not dramatically, not loudly, quietly, naturally, in its own timing. This is especially true when you are older, tired, or no longer interested in chasing outcomes. Life seems to trust you more then. The simple act is this. Once a day, only once, you place your hand over the center of your chest. Not to activate anything, not to fix anything, not to ask for anything, just to acknowledge. You rest your hand there for 10 slow seconds. That is all. No words are required, no thoughts are required. If thoughts come, you let them pass. You are not directing energy. You are not sending intention. You are simply saying, without language, I am here. I notice this place. Ancient people did not believe the heart needed to be awakened. They believed it already knew. What it needed was to be recognized without pressure. Acknowledgement is different from demand. And acknowledgement often creates a return, not because you asked, but because something felt seen. Many noticed that when they did this daily, something subtle returned. A calm that had been missing, a conversation that softened, a small relief in the body, a thought that arrived at the right time. Sometimes it showed up as clarity, sometimes as ease with money, sometimes as emotional steadiness. Often, it was quiet enough that only someone paying gentle attention would notice. You are not asked to believe anything, only to observe. For 7 days, you do this once a day, 10 seconds, no more. You do not improve it, you do not add to it. You simply notice how life responds when something is acknowledged instead of chased. And if nothing obvious happens, that is also fine. This is not a test. It is an invitation. In the next part, I will tell you what many older people quietly reported noticing after those 7 days. Not as a promise, not as a rule, just as observations shared gently, the way elders once spoke by the fire at the end of the day. For now, rest here. You have already done enough in this life. And sometimes, what returns comes to those who finally stop reaching. There is something that happens when you stop waiting for a result. Not giving up, just loosening your grip. Many older people noticed that during those 7 days, nothing dramatic announced itself. No signs, no sudden certainty. Instead, life responded the way it often does when it feels respected. Quietly. Some noticed their body felt less guarded. Not younger, not stronger, just less braced. As if something inside had been allowed to rest its weight. Others noticed their thoughts softened. Worries did not disappear, but they lost their sharp edge. Decisions felt less urgent. Conversations felt less charged. And in that softness, small corrections appeared. The right words arrived a moment earlier. A delay turned out to be useful. An old concern loosened its hold. Not because anything was fixed, but because nothing was forced. A few noticed changes they did not expect to connect. Money matters eased slightly, not suddenly, but gently. An expense didn't come. A solution appeared without struggle. Help arrived without asking. Relationships responded in the same way. Someone reached out. A tension dissolved without discussion. An old resentment lost its voice. These were not rewards. They felt more like responses. As if life said, "You are listening again, so I will speak more quietly." The heart, when acknowledged, does not rush. It does not bargain. It does not perform. It remembers. And when you place your hand there, even for 10 seconds, you are not doing something new. You are returning to something familiar. Many elders said this worked best when they were tired of trying, when they no longer needed proof, when they were willing to let things arrive in their own shape. Effortlessness, they said, is not laziness. It is trust without words. If you continue beyond 7 days, you do so without turning it into a practice that demands results. Some days you will forget. That is fine. Some days it will feel like nothing. That is fine. This is not about consistency. It is about sincerity. 10 seconds of true acknowledgement often carries more weight than hours of effort. So tonight, or tomorrow morning, or whenever you remember, place your hand over your heart. Count slowly to 10. Then continue with your day as you always have. Do not watch for signs. Do not measure outcomes. Just notice what feels slightly different when you are no longer asking life to prove itself to you. You have carried enough. You have tried enough. If something is meant to return, it will recognize that you finally stopped calling it. And when it does, it will come quietly, without effort, the way meaningful things always do. You are already complete. This was only a reminder. There is no ending to this, only a soft settling. If you ever forget this small gesture, nothing is lost. Life does not keep score. And if you remember it months from now, in an ordinary moment, that is often when it matters most. The hand returns to the heart not as a technique, but as a familiarity. Like touching the doorframe of a home you have lived in for a long time. Some people say the heart listens more than it speaks. Others say it recognizes honesty before words ever form. Perhaps that is why acknowledgement changes things. Not because it commands life, but because it meets it without defense. As years pass, what you need tends to simplify. Not more answers, not more effort. Just fewer interruptions between you and what has always known the way. This small moment each day is not about improvement. It is about permission. Permission to rest inside yourself. permission to be enough without explanation. If something returns to you, welcome it gently. If nothing seems to change, trust that something has already softened. Either way, you have not missed anything. You have only remembered how to be with life instead of ahead of it. And that, quietly, is often when everything begins to respond.